It's hard to think back and remember those words from her.
Kevin Kurowski is thinking back to December 13th, 2004. He was driving home after a night of social drinking with friends, but never made it. A car accident left him paralyzed from the chest down. Today he lives in this apartment in Claremont. Before the accident, Kevin led an active life, fishing and hunting with family and friends. He was also very successful, serving 5 years as the assistant general manager of the Weather Vane restaurant in Chichester.
I like fast-paced. I like fast-paced, energetic. I wake up in the morning, drink a bunch of coffee, and just go and do everything I possibly could in the course of a day.
Kevin often spent nights unwinding and enjoying a few beers.
I just have a couple at night to slow myself down, to get myself to sleep. I go out to a bar every now and then, and because I went out and socialized and had a couple of beers and then made the choice to drive home, came the result of the accident.
An accident which Kevin had no recollection of after waking from a 44-day coma.
And as I was coming out of it, and coming off all the controlled drugs that they had me on, I just made up my own story that I'd fallen asleep driving.
What Kevin didn't know is that on the night of the accident, while driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.14, he struck another vehicle. Inside was a man named Klaus Grenz, a 56-year-old husband and father.
What was it like when your ex-wife told you what had actually happened that night?
To know I killed somebody. When she told me that, it's an unbelievable feeling. You can't imagine what it's like. You can't imagine what it's like to this day. Rocky Mountain.
Still recovering from the emotional pain of Mr. Grenz's death, Kevin also worried about possible negligent homicide charges in criminal court.
I didn't want to face the facts. I didn't want to be in this world anymore. I didn't know if I was going to be sent to prison. And I didn't want to live with the emotional pain of taking away Mr. Grenz's life. And I didn't want to go to jail. I was begging and pleading not to go to jail.
In September of 2005, Kevin learned his fate. Instead of prison time, a judge sentenced him to 300 hours of community service. According to the Concord Monitor, it's a sentence Mr. Grenz's family approved of. Kevin now speaks at high schools and colleges around the state about the dangers of drinking and driving.
It's actually not a story. It's my life. You know, I want to share with the world. I want to share with kids growing up. I think I have something. I think I have a message that can really touch somebody in something I can say or do. And I think it's going to touch them in a different way. 5 years ago, I was worth $250,000. 2 months ago, month and a half ago actually, it's worth $427. Period.
This different way, Kevin says, is one of honesty that avoids preaching.
The emotional pain took over and was so great and so overbearing, I didn't even feel like I was me anymore. First thought, I want to die. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was suicidal. Growing up and hearing everything about drinking and driving and hearing about drinking and drugging and all the don'ts in my life, that made no difference to me. It didn't sink into my mind. It didn't sink into my head, because if somebody's just sitting there yelling and screaming at me and saying, don't do this, don't, never, 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 I'm just going to block them out, yeah, whatever. But what I wanted to do and what I want to tell people is, I know you're probably you're gonna experiment with alcohol at some point in your life. Just make a better decision than I did about it. Be responsible. I used to drink alcohol to slow my mind down before I go to sleep. Now, 2 years after the accident, I still cry myself to sleep.
The fact that he didn't preach his story, that he just told it straight as is, really helped me gain respect, because that is his life. It's not his story. Like he said, it is his life.
To a lot of individuals, knowing the truth and knowing what I do on a daily basis or what I go through might make them think twice about the choices that they're going to make in their life, knowing the actual graphic details.
Hearing that, just, and not only hearing it, but I think more seeing it, seeing what he looks like today, is an image that has been planted in my head.
It is the hope of reactions like these that Kevin says will keep him committed to speaking about better decision-making long after his court-ordered sentence is completed.
Because I want to make a difference someday, because it makes me feel better that I'm trying to make something positive out of what I caused.
That's one of the reasons Kevin is so eager to share his story, one that he feels separates himself from your standard anti-drunk driving message.
If I'm going to sit there and tell them, no, hey, don't drink. What did I just do? I just completed some of my community service hours because I just went up there and told people not to drink. But did I really tell them not to drink? Did I really get in their mind? No. Are they going to remember Kevin Kurowski's story? Are they going to remember Kevin Kurowski's life? No. Some idiot in a wheelchair just told me not to drink. Well, when I got up there and shared with them everything that I had, the life-changing event that I had, and everything I go through now physically and emotionally in graphic detail, they're going to remember Kevin Kurowski's story.
For New Hampshire Outlook, I'm Adam Donovan.